see if that's working. Okay. Looks like we're back. My internet like completely conked out there for a minute, or a couple of minutes. Hopefully I haven't lost everybody. We'll give it a second. I'm still trying to get this feather looking a little bit more natural. At the moment it doesn't look natural because it is kind of all cut with the things at the same length, but not much I can do for that. I think I'll just cut it slightly differently next time. But I think it looks like a feather. So that's the important part. It looks like a feather. So I'll set this over here. It'll be in probably the 20 or the 12, that one. So let's get these figured out. So this one's probably going to go back this way. That's not working quite as well as I was hoping it would, so we're just gonna do this the same kind of way that I did the last one, because it seems to have worked, even if it's a little bit funky. All right, cool. I think we're back. So I'm just cutting this down to size so it kind of looks more traditional feather shaped here. And get a couple of these off the edge so we do have the quill part sticking out just a little bit. All right, okay, looks like everything's working again. That's what I was hoping for, was everything working again. At first I thought it was the computer that I'm on. It sometimes decides that it doesn't want the internet to work anymore, but it looks like my internet just straight up conked out for a minute because it wasn't working on my phone either. There we go. All right. Let me make sure. Okay, cool. It does look like it is back. Cool. All right. I had someone message me to say that it wasn't working, which I appreciate, but also didn't actually work out since I didn't have internet to get a message, which was unfortunate, but I guess I did see the message, so, you know, it did work out. Alright, there's a couple spots here that I want to kind of make a little less uniform. And I think we've got, that looks like a feather. Another little feather. Ooh, that never likes to focus. There we go. Another little feather. That'll probably go on one of these as well. I'm just going to do that with all of these feathers here. And we do have something already for the D4 and the D6. I think I will probably try to find or set up something for both the bonus D4 and the bonus keychain as well. Alright, there we go. I do have some extra fluff and stuff here. Fluff and stuff. I might be able to use some of this actually. Part of this one that I already, well, I don't know, the fluffy part there I think it would be a little bit more difficult to cut the super fluffy part into shape. And that's going to end up really small. Well, I'm just going to continue using these ones for now. But while we're working on this, think it might be, I do need to start thinking about what do I want to do for this last, this not bonus set, but like, it's not a commission set, it's just going to be a set that I do for, you know, to add to the shop, just as a pre-made set, probably, assuming everything turns out. It's good to have a few of those. Like maybe let's see, what do we want to try there? It's kind of a funky shape right there, but I'm just going to kind of do how it is on the other side here. And then I'm going to cut that other side down so that it's kind of to a similar shape. So I just want these to look natural. Alright. Yeah, you can tell which side is which, because this side, everything is still the same length, which is not what I want. I want it to not be super even. That's because, like, sort of natural things aren't usually super even. Okay. Like, there's a certain amount of symmetricality that's expected, like, it's kind of an in-between point. I feel like when it comes to like natural things, like there's a certain amount of like repetition and symmetricality and stuff, but at the same time it's usually not perfectly symmetrical. It's like faces. Most people's faces, there's a certain amount of symmetricality to a person's face. Like most people, the right side of your face and left side of your face look, you know, for the most part pretty similar, but at the same time they're not perfectly symmetrical. I remember reading once that was a theory for why people don't like seeing photographs of themselves. It's because they're used to seeing their own face in like a mirror. And so when they see a photograph of themselves which isn't mirrored, it looks wrong to them. Which is also part of the reason that like it doesn't look wrong to other people. I'm just kind of cutting along the edge here. Kind of making it a little bit of a ragged edge. So you can see a little bit of a ragged edge there. That'll add a little bit of texture and stuff when it's in the mold too. Add that over there. I mean, we could always just use some of this fluff too. I have all sorts of black fluff. That's the soft part. Let's try and do something that's a little bit shorter. So I want one that's a little bit shorter here. I think we can get 2 out of this one. So a little tiny feather. We're gonna do that one probably in the D4 here. And then this one I'm gonna try and shape a little bit, and I think maybe we'll go in, no, actually maybe this one right here just fit in here. Aha! I think we're just going to do this. We're just going to put this feather in here completely. Because it fits. Fits in there almost perfectly, actually. Feather. Feather in a tube. Press that down a little bit. Alright. Yeah, I think that'll be good. You can kind of see it in there. There's the feather. I think we can get 2 out of this one, so let's see if we do that. Okay. Trying to get rid of some of this extra part without getting rid of all of the extra like fluffy parts, because I feel like it might be nice to have a little bit of that fluffy part in there. But I don't want to, no. Again, I'm trying to make these look kind of natural and even. Which means that they'd kind of follow a little bit of a line, kind of follow along a sort of path here. I'm trying to do that a little bit while keeping some of this extra part around it, which is easier said than done, actually. I think these will be good. It should be a fairly simple set to make once we actually get down to making it. Ooh, interesting. There's like all a bunch of the feathers around the base here, just kind of coming off. A bunch of the fluffy part. All right, let me get that out of the way. So I'm thinking it shouldn't be too long of a night. I guess we'll see. You know, I say that and then things end up taking forever, but I'm starting to time how long it takes me to do things. Because I was curious. I was having a conversation with someone, I can't remember who it was exactly, about, you know, how long. I mean, I've had a couple of conversations. I had it recommended to me that I raise some of my prices. And I actually went back and was just like, how long am I actually taking to make a set of dice? And so I'm figuring out kind of the bare minimum amount of time it takes for me to make a set of dice. So I went and sat down the other night and I made more galaxy dice, which is a type of dice. Most of the dice in my shop, they're kind of one-offs or two-offs. You know, I'll make one or two every once in a while and put them in the shop. The galaxy dice are the first thing I ever put in the shop, and I try to keep them, you know, kind of stocked fairly regularly. I was out, so I went and sat down and made some more of those the other night. And like, I have that design down. There's no, I don't have to like think about it too much what I'm doing there. It's, you know, I know what colors I'm using. I know how I'm putting them into the molds and all that fun stuff. This might be a little bit big, but that one might also be just kind of cool on D20. I think we'll put that one there. And so I went and actually like set a time, like not a timer, stopwatch. I set a stopwatch and figured out how long it took me to actually, like, you know, get all of the materials set up and all of the dice poured. And then I did 3 sets at a time. You know, I did 3 sets of dice, and so then I divided that whole time by 3. Because I usually make about 3 sets of dice at a time. That's about how many I can make. You know, that's about one of these full of resin. And so I figured out that it took me about 40 minutes per set of dice, just to pour them. None of the rest of the stuff. But it's been kind of a funny thing too. Okay, we actually only need one more. Did anyone else hear a whistle? Here, actually I think for this bonus D4, maybe I'll just use a little bit of this fluff. I think that'll be good. Oh wait, I have some fluff that's already a little bit funky because I used some of it yesterday. I'm just gonna set these here for now, get them out of the way. I have that set of dice that I'm gonna be working on too. I just got some stuff in the mail. Okay. So they're gonna have these black feathers in there. Actually, I could probably just put the black feathers in. Let's just put the black feathers in. It's actually, so timing the dice is actually it's taken me less time than I thought to make things. Come on. Because I would have thought that it would have been closer to like an hour probably to pour a set. And that's because like is when I'm streaming. And that's usually because I'm not making all of the same, I'm not making 3 of the same kinds of dice, which, you know, maybe I'll do that at some point, just sit down and make galaxy dice on stream or something. But I'm not usually making 3 of the same kinds of dice, which takes less time because there's fewer materials and stuff that I gotta pull out and, you know, figure out the designs for and everything. And then also, there's a certain amount of streams that are taken up by me just waffling. Oops, I laughed and got a feather blown across the table. Oh, actually I do need one more, because this one was actually going to be that. I need one more. Put this one in here. A certain amount of just me waffling and like deciding what I want to do, chatting with chat, talking a whole bunch, which is what I always do, just all that sort of stuff. So that takes up some time too. So it did end up taking me, like I said, less time than I actually expected to make a set of dice. And then I went and I timed some other things too. So, what all have I timed so far? I did time how long it takes me to sand a set of dice. So I have cut down my sanding by half. You know, I have like 3 different I have a set of 6 polishing papers. Zona papers. They're fairly common among people who make dice. And like normally you take all 6 papers and you'd use all 6. But in my case, I got a tumbler that I can use for polishing, so I just do the first 3. So I have cut down the amount of time it takes me. And then I also have a like a sanding wheel, which I do for the very beginning, and that's, you know, cut down time as well. So, you know, there's, I don't know how I should factor that in, you know, that I have equipment that has made it so it takes less time now. But, yeah, so that also took me almost exactly 40 minutes per set. Set of dice took about 40 minutes. Sorry, I've gotten distracted by all of the resin that's on my tweezers. There's like so much. Yeah. And then I went and measured how long it takes me to ink a set of dice, and it took almost exactly 40 minutes as well. It's just kind of funny. It's like, why is everything taking exactly 40 minutes? So strange. There's a lot of other little things in between. I need to measure how long it takes me to clean dice, because when I take the dice out of the tumbler, all of the numbers inside of them are filled with all sorts of gunk from like sanding, all of that excess residue, just resin dust that gets caught in the numbers, and then also a whole bunch of polish and stuff gets stuck in the numbers from them being in the tumbler with a whole bunch of polish. And so I take some warm soapy water and a toothbrush to all of the dice, and that takes a while. My guess is going to be that it's also going to take exactly 40 minutes just to vex me. Just to confuse me, I'm sure. Oh, okay, this one's already broken. Let's do that. But who knows? Yeah, there's just lots of little things that take time. Like, but yeah, I was just kind of interesting to find out, I guess, how long it actually takes me to make things. Like, I think where I was going with this was the streaming. To be fair, my streams have, I think they've gotten maybe a little bit longer over time. I don't know if it's just because I chat more or what. Maybe I'm more indecisive than I used to be in what I want to make. Let me cut this down a little bit, just a second. Trying to get that classic feather shape. I didn't do a very good job. We'll clean that up a little bit. yeah, I think I feel like maybe my streams have gotten a little bit longer. I feel like when I first started they were about 2.5 hours, and now they're like 3.5 usually ish. Which, if you're here and not planning on sticking around 3.5 hours, that's understandable. That's a fair bit of time. Come on, trying to get that shape. I think that's good. But I think that's maybe sort of affected my how I think of how long I think things take to a certain extent. I'm not a great judge of time. Like I don't pay too much attention to it, I guess. It's one of those things where it's never on my radar. It is, but it's not something, if I'm not actively thinking about it, it's like, I don't know how long things take. Even if I am actively thinking about it, I don't know how long things take. But, so I was using streaming for a while to kind of estimate how long it takes me to do things. And different things take different amounts of time. Like, I've been kind of measuring the bare minimum when it comes to time. Like the galaxy dice, yeah, I have to like dust the molds first. But I also know the designs, and so they're probably one of the quicker sets of dice to make. For sanding and stuff, I made sure to like pick sets that were, fairly normal. Nothing that was too difficult to sand or anything. That's not usually an issue, but I did try to pick kind of standard sets. And then for like inking, I just did normal inking, nothing with any like fancy multiple colors or anything like that. So, yeah. I finished my juice. And I'm almost done with my tea. Oh no. Okay, cool. We actually have feathers for all of these now. So I'm just trying to get these all in here. A lot of things I would normally probably try to put them in the resin first, just so that we can make sure that no air bubbles and stuff get trapped. But I've done feathers before, to where I just put them into the molds and then pour resin over the top, and I haven't had an issue. So I'm just gonna do that. All right, that one looks a little bit too even on the side. Still looks kind of even, but I think that helped a little bit. All right, right there. There we go. That's better. So, alright, so we do still need to figure out what we want to do for this extra set of fate dice. So, we're doing all sorts of blues. I mean, maybe we should stick with the theme of blue. We could do that for sure. Oh, just a second here. Seems to be a random piece of resin that has fallen in here. I don't know if I'm kind of worried now that this won't match. Just because this feather's kind of different. That's okay though. I think it'll turn out just fine. So maybe we should do something with a whole bunch of blues. So here and there. All right. Think about this. So I think sometimes I do the D4s opposite of the other ones, just because with the D4, the way that they're shaped, when you have the highest number at the top, you don't have a flat face. So I think I'm going to do the opposite D4 so that the highest number's at the bottom. So I'm going to put this in like this, and then it'll be even for that. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. And then I'm going to use a little bit of this in this bonus D4 here. This is just some of the fluff from the feathers. Yeah, okay. That works out. And then we're going to have our two blue colors. So we're going to have our lighter blue resin and then our darker blue kind of inky swirl on the inside. There we go. Ooh. Got those all set to go. And we're just going to need just one mixing cup. Let's do this one. We'll clear this one out. This one had a light blue in it. I do wonder, like, I'd be tempted to put a little bit of like a shimmer or something in this one. That was never specified. I'm always a fan of a little bit of shimmer. But, so I'm not going to do it. Just because never specified anything like that, but. Oh man. I have a couple of dice trades coming up, which is exciting. I'm waiting on some stuff to come in for them, though. I'm very excited about that. I have one set of handmade dice that weren't made by me, because handmade dice are spendy. And I got those from like a white elephant dice gift exchange, and they're very cute. But a couple of other dice makers and I are gonna do like an exchange where we make dice for each other. I'm very excited for that. I'm excited to get some handmade dice, and also I like their dice. They're so pretty. So excited for that. I have a couple of different ideas for both of them. One of them might try and make some D6s because they're doing Vampire the Masquerade at the moment, which uses like D6s instead of the 7-piece sets. I'm getting some masters in for jumbo dice, so like really big dice. Come on, some really big dice, and I'm kind of thinking maybe doing like D10s with those might be fun for that. I don't know. I have the thing that I'm actually most excited for getting in. So I went and ordered quite a few different masters for things the other week. So I ordered ones for jumbo, like a full jumbo set of dice. It's a big dice. And then I also actually need two separate things for this, because we need one for the silver foil and one for the glow in the dark and teal. Okay. Well, the silver foil one, let's just grab a new one for that. And then this one, we'll grab one that's like blue. That was blue. All right. The thing that I'm most excited for is I ordered like inserts for my dice. So they're like blank dice that are just slightly smaller than my normal dice. And so the idea is that I can, pour those and then put them into my dice molds, and I'll have kind of like two layers. I'll have an inside layer and outside layer. And I have quite a few ideas of some cool things that I could do with those. Partly just because I like painting. So I think it might be cool to make like the inside layer, paint it, and then put it into the dice molds. Die molds? Die mold? Well, there's too many plurals and singulars there. That's exciting to me. But I also think it would be cool to do like, maybe like a Petri one direction, and then put it into the thing, and then do like a Petri the other direction. I feel like there's stuff that could be done there. Okay. There's one for the blue. get that all into our little containers here. Seems like it's a quiet night. I did kind of not expect, but like, I did kind of plan for a quiet night to a certain extent. Not in the sense that like no one would like be here, but in the sense that I didn't expect to be working on anything that would take an exorbitant amount of time or anything like that. There's a whole bunch of purple resin on my tweezers, and I don't want purple resin in my silver foil. That's not what I want at all. That's not what I want. All right. There's still, I don't want purple. I don't want purple resin. Let me see if I can get this off. There we go. There we go. Now I don't have purple resin right against the ends of my tweezers, so I'm not as worried about getting little flakes of purple resin in my silver foil container. Okay. So the resin for this is going to be clear with some silver foil in it. We're going to be doing about 15 milliliters or so. Probably about 15 milliliters. So I don't think we're going to need too much of this, because I don't want it to be so much that you can't see what else is going on. So I think we'll do that. We're just going to have kind of a little bit. We can always add more. So I'll set this off to the side, and we can add more if we need to. But there's our silver foil. And this one is going to be kind of a teal color. That's the plan. But it's also going to glow in the dark. So we're going to add a little bit of, I don't know why I shook that. It was probably a bad idea. But we're going to add a little bit of this glow in the dark powder. It's very, very blue here, but it glows kind of a teal, kind of a tealy blue-green color. Let me go something for, I should really sort through all my stir sticks here and get rid of some that are getting super caked on with resin. Yes, it's fixed. I'm back. My internet conked out for a minute there. So we don't need too much of this. Yeah, I think, yes. How are you doing tonight, by the way? Glad you could make it. Don't think we need too much of this, but because we're not going to have a ton of that. That's just going to be a little bit of a tealy swirl in there. But we'll set that off to the side. That's going to be with our blue and our green. We're going to mix that up with a little bit of resin. Sometimes when I do an inky... Oh, those are your spooky dice! Awesome! That works out. Yeah. I think we're almost ready to go on them. I did go for the slightly darker, kind of tealy glow in the dark. But I think that'll be good. Normally, when I'm doing kind of an inky swirl, sometimes I would just put the ink like directly into the resin. But since we want it to be glow in the dark, we're gonna mix it with a little bit of resin first before we add it, because that'll be easier to add the glow in the dark part. So we've got that. We've got our silver. We don't have like a ton of silver here, and that's just because it's going to be broken up into some small pieces, and we can always add more if we need to. All right. Oh, and then we have our black, and then I actually will be using white with this as well. So it might end up a little bit gray, the tendrils in there, and that's because the white is what helps drag the color down to the bottom. It's the part that's heavy, so it's the part that actually creates the tendrils. All right, and then I'm gonna do. I dyed this mold. I used so much pigment in here. I want to do like one more set, but I don't know what I want to put in it. alternatively, let's see, I have some other, I do want to make my own, molds at some point, but I could, instead of making another set of fate dice, try making a like a space bar instead for a computer. Could try that. That might be fun. Although, let me think about this. I could just make like 60 milliliters then, maybe. I don't think that would take very much. I mean, we could do both too. I'm not quite sure where I got these molds. I should have just waited to make my own. And that's something that I want to actually get figured out at some point here. Because these molds aren't great, to be honest. They don't have good keys on them, so the lids don't stay exactly where they need to be. Which is just unfortunate. Doing alcohol. New batch of stuff in your pot. You just got a set of dice, but haven't taken the plunge yet. Oh, taking the plunge for alcohol inks? Alcohol inks are pretty great. I do also have like resin pigments, which resin pigments are great for coloring resin, but I feel like you can get some different sort of looks with the alcohol inks. I really like them for like dirty pores and stuff. Okay, yeah, oh, drive safe, Jen. Drive safe. Maybe not those right now. You have the same keycap molds, Grocklinks? Grocklinks? Is that how you pronounce that? Same keycap ones, you're saying? Well, maybe I'll try it out. Yeah, I have plans to make, so I make my own dice molds. So I do have plans to try and make my own keycap molds as well. But I finally got the Resin 3D printer to work. I don't have the piece that I printed out. It's been not working great for me. It's been kind of a pain trying to get things to stick to the build plate and everything, but, what was I saying? I do want to try printing out, basically printing out keycaps, which I'll then, you know, polish up, and then I'll make molds out of those. They're deep enough to do the drops. You wanted to do those in there, but thought it had to be... for these? We can. Here, actually, yeah. Let me show you what I did before. Where did those go? Yeah. So I did try these once before. And that's part of the reason... Here, I don't know how well you can hear me. I did use these once before. Oh, the mold system. Yeah, I think I've seen that. That's how I make all my molds. Yeah, I make all my molds with Legos. It works great for making the boxes to cast them in. You ask if I use Legos. Yeah, no, all of these are made with Legos. You can kind of see the brick pattern on the side here. So here's kind of what happens when I do the... Oh, that's exciting! It's always fun. I don't know. Resin's just really fun. And I remember when I was first kind of starting doing dice and stuff. Oh, you just did your first Lego test pour and went all out the bottom. Oh no. I have that happen every once in a while if I don't, if I get like a little bit of the silicone on my fingers beforehand or something before I try to put tape on. I've done that before because I'm like, oh no, I need one more mold. It causes big problems. But I usually will... Okay, we're doing a short intermission here, guys, to talk about mold making, which I should do on stream at some point. Maybe I'll do that next Wednesday or something. So I build my... I'll just show you. I'll show you how I make my my things for making molds. So to pour my molds, I have to make like a little bit of a kind of a case so that I have, you know, something to put the silicone in. And that's what I use Legos for. And it's also what I use packing tape for, and I have kind of an example over here that I can show you. So I make my thing here out of Legos. So there I have like a kind of a solid piece to then put my die in, or whatever I'm going to be making a mold of. And then I take a piece of tape that's about the right size and I put it here. You're nodding over there. And then I also take tape that's longer and I put it here. I put 2 pieces and then I fold it up on the sides just for a little bit of extra protection. And that way if it leaks just a little bit, it'll hopefully get caught a little bit in that kind of bowl shape. I don't know if that makes sense. Here, I'll see if I can show you here. Here's a couple that I need to add a little bit more. See, this one did leak because I did this one. I tried to set up this mold when my hands weren't clean. But I make it so that there's a little bit of extra tape here that overhangs the edge, and then I put it up on the sides. Try to tape it up on the sides. Oh, you use just the bottom plate. See, I like using the tape because then I can get my things perfectly flat. So since I'm doing like dice, I can get it nice and flat on the bottom. I don't have to try and clean up around the faces because it's stuck down to the tape, so none of the silicone can get in there. You also use Legos, Rami Kitten? Is that what you're saying? Aha! That's kind of fun. Yeah, I go through a lot of packing tape. I was talking about this earlier. Oh, but for doing Petries, depends on the resin that you have. I use a thicker resin, so Petries don't always go as well for me. But here's... Oh, you're also nodding. Just nodding along. Here's the only keycaps that I did with these molds. And I did do a Petrie. See if I can get it so you can see. It never likes to focus up close. Just a second. There we go. You can see the Petrie there. And it worked pretty well. So, you know, I think it's an option. I do want to... You don't have the patience for resin, which is why you paid me. Valid. Yeah, so I think it worked pretty okay. I like this one, actually. This one turned out pretty good. Yeah, these unfortunately did not work, and it's because, like I was saying before, the lids here don't really have a key system to them. So by key, I mean, just a second, I have cat hair everywhere, which is normal, but annoying. By key system, I mean, like, I have pieces here that will lock into place to make sure that the lid sits in the right spot. But the unfortunate thing is with these don't have a thing to make sure that they sit in the right spot, so these can sit, you know, anywhere in here. They can wiggle around, and so it did, and so they didn't end up in the middle. You can see there. Yeah, they're hard to get in the middle, so that's part of the reason I want to make my own molds. Also, so I can, you know, make my own shapes and stuff too. I think it'd be fun to do, you know, some that are maybe like a bubble, like kind of rounded and things. But I do think that once I get the molds figured out, I can make some pretty things. I think. No, you've been trying to print your own Lego keycap adapter. Yeah, my printer's been being fun. But yeah, I haven't really done keycaps. Yeah, I know. I just ordered more Dice Masters, even though I just got a Resin 3D printer. I'm just like, it's gonna take me a while. I have a cat playing with something outside my door. It's gonna take me a while to like get to the point where I could print my own masters for dice, because they're so technical and everything. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna order masters. I'm still figuring out how to get things printed. So, yeah, it's like, it seems like a waste, but also I would like to have these yesterday. So I'm just gonna order them. Okay, what should we do in this one? I mean, let's do a dirty pour. And the reason I'm gonna do a dirty pour is because, one, I love doing them. And two, it'll show off one of the many things you can do with alcohol inks, as opposed to the resin pigments. So we'll do a Petri here, which will involve the alcohol inks, and then I'll do a dirty pour here, which will also involve the alcohol inks. But we also need to decide what colors we want to use. So if anybody there has a preference for colors, I'll pull out the colors that I have for alcohol inks. And we could do other colors as well, but just for the alcohol inks. They're a little bit of a mess. So I've got, you know, orange, yellow. This green isn't really green. It's kind of a teal, blue. Wait, that's not the green. That's the black. Yeah, green, purple, pink, and gold, and then also white. So we pick, like, you know, a couple of these that we want to do, or we could just do rainbow again. I do like doing a good rainbow. Should we just do a rainbow? Or we could go like primary colors-ish. Maybe like the pink, the yellow, and the... I like teal too. Like, a lot of my things end up like purples and pinks and teal colors. Because I like doing like teals. So I mean, then that's an option. I feel like I've been doing a lot of those lately, though. The purple and the teal. I do so many purple and teal. Like, yeah, I do a lot of purple and teal. It's good to know that everybody likes purple and teal. It makes me feel a little bit better. I think, I mean, we could do that. Do the purple and teal. Although I've done that recently, actually. I'm gonna do the pink and the yellow and the blue. And that's just because I did purple and teal together. Was purple and teal? Yeah, I did purple and teal together fairly recently. I can show you a picture too of how that turned out. I have a little shelf over here that I put all my stuff on. I can show you if you want. I used to have like all of my resin stuff like pink too. I do have pink. I'm gonna do pink, yellow, and blue. And there's also gonna have white. Yes. So I used to have all of my resin stuff. I have kind of like 2 standing tables that I'm at. And I used to have it all on the table next to me. And then I never put anything away because it was out of arm's reach. So now I have everything within arm's reach. I have like all of my pigments there and some extra things, random things. There's a container of bees. And then I have like all of my glitters and powdered pigments and everything over here. Now it's all fancy and I can reach everything, which is the important part. Because that means, ooh, weird angle there. It means that I'll actually put things away because I don't have to try and walk around because I'm very lazy. Alright, I've got that. And actually, speaking of bees, I do want to grab one of those because I'm trying to make a set of dice that looks like amber. And I can show you how they've turned out so far. Let me grab them. And they maybe turned out a little bit too reddish. I don't know. Let me grab these. Ah! I've got some of the pink ink on me already. So I'm trying to make... Hello, Scryer! So I'm trying to make some dice that look like amber. Not my friend Amber, but so they maybe turned out a little bit too reddish orange. Let's see if I can get it so you can see. It never likes to focus where I want it to. Oh, there we go. It's kind of hard to see. I have some kind of like dark flakes and tendrils in there. It'd be easier to see if there was light behind it. But I want to add a bee in the D20 because I have a bunch of bees. Just looks like old amber. I do think that it actually ended up looking. Hello, welcome, Nerdhalla. Nerdhalla. Ha. I can pronounce H's. I'm gonna take all of your money. Oh dear. Yeah, I do think that it kind of ended up looking actually like amber, but I don't know that it ended up looking like people expect amber to look, if that makes sense. There's a certain kind of balance that I usually try to stick between what something actually looks like and what people think it looks like. Because, you know, even if it looks exactly like amber, if no one, you know, expects amber to look like that, they're not going to be interested in them just because it's not what they would, you know, how they relate, like would expect, what's the word I'm looking to? I guess relate. They won't be able to relate to it, I guess, because it's, you know, not really what they picture. Let's find a good bee here. I think this one's good. So I'm just gonna take a actual honeybee here. I have a whole, look away if you're squeamish about bugs. Yes, this is a Tupperware container full of actual bees. It'll focus, there we go. Yes, Tupperware container of actual bees. I needed something for a commission, and then this was the smallest amount that I could order. I didn't know how many it was going to be, because it was by weight when I ordered them. And this is how many bees I ended up with. So now I've got so many bees, and I've used quite a few because I could not get that commission right, but we're going to glue one of them down in here and then add some kind of orangish resin over the top to add to that amber look. I don't want the resin over the top here to be too dark, so I want to be able to see the bee on the inside. But I'm gluing it down because that's not the bees. I know. It's one of those things where it's just like, oh, I feel so bad, but also I'm glad that they can be used even after they have died. You know, every part of the buffalo, all that. Let's move that forward a little bit. So I want to get that fairly centered, and I'm going to get that glued down just a little bit, just because I don't want it to float. That was the issue that I was having a whole bunch, is that they float because they're a little bit lighter. So just gluing that down. They've sacrificed themselves for art. I'm fairly certain they died of natural causes. I think I ordered them from like a beekeeper. That's the impression that I got. Like, they're just, you know, the bees that had already died. 'Cause everything freaking floats in resin. You know, all of the like kind of natural things, yes. I have found that polymer clay tends to sink. It's a little bit heavier. Oh, that reminds me, I should actually, except glitter. Glitter sinks. I mean, yeah, depending on the glitter, I've found some workarounds for that, but yeah, it sinks so much. So I have a little mountain here, and it either sinks or it floats, yeah. Never exactly the same density as the resin. I need my little circle mold. Where did I put that? There's some other here. I was calling for this earlier, and then I forgot. Or I could do that. Is this the right size? Nope, that's too big. I'm looking for, I have a sphere mold. This is much more fussy than you thought. I mean, to be fair, at this point, like I kind of, I'm going to be raising my prices a little bit. Not a ton, but a little bit. Scryer also makes dice, so, she's a little biased there. To be fair, I did have that moment yesterday of, I'm a sham! So, you know, that's always fun too. I'm always like where is that round mold? Sorry guys, I'm just looking for, I have a mold like this that's like a little bit smaller. I want the smaller one. I don't know where it went. I thought it was right here because I use it every once in a while. Did I bury it under something? My desk here's a little bit messy. Well, see, the thing is, just a second. Oh, there it is. Found it. Okay, I want my smaller one. A set of D&D dice is what we're talking about at the moment. So here, these aren't sanded yet, but I'll grab a set that I made fairly recently that's just sitting over here. So like a 7-piece set of D&D dice, which is what I mostly make. I do some other things too, but what I was going to say though is like it's not super fussy, I guess, to me anymore because I've done it enough at this point that I kind of know how things work. Like the bees gave me a hard time, and well, that's what I was just about to say, is that they vary a lot. So at the moment, most of my dice I sell for about $55. Not the commissions, but just the sets in my shop. That's about my average price there, and that's in the middle. Like things usually go like, I feel like the prices I've seen are from about, you know, 45 to like 100 and whatever it was, 180. Like it varies a lot. But commission prices I'm going to be raising a little bit at the very least, just because they take a lot more time. They're fun, but they take more time. So this is actually, I want a little bit of this. So I made a die recently for a commission. I think it's sanded at the moment, so you won't be able to see it if I grab it. So let me grab a photo. It has a little mountain in it. And I had made a little, $50 is the low end. It kind of is the low end from what I've seen. $45, $50 seems to be about the bottom. So I made a die recently that has a little mountain in it. Let's see if I can get it so you can see. So, has a little mountain in it. It's not very bright there, but, and I showed my grandma, and she wants a necklace with a little mountain in it, and I actually made 2 mountains. I only needed the one, so I have a second little mountain here that I made. And so I'm going to add a little layer of the silver into this sphere mold, and then I'll put the mountain in there and everything else, and then make a necklace for her. So that's why that's there. Oh, this set. I also need an extra mold for this set. Oh, well, thank you guys. I like doing stuff like that. I want to get back into the habit of doing more kind of fancy sets like that. Those are the ones that I really enjoy making, are the ones that are super themed or have like little dioramas and stuff in them. Those are the ones that I really enjoy making. But they just take a lot more planning, which is something that I have to like actively think about a whole bunch. So I need to like actually plan to sit down and make some mountains and you know, figure out what exactly I want everything to look like before I make it, as opposed to just sitting down and being like, I'm gonna make a set of dirty pour dice with red and yellow and blue, because like, you know, I didn't plan that at all. I was just like, well, let's do an extra set of fate dice, and what color should we use? May need to commission a set. I mean, I'm not complaining. Okay, so I think we've got everything planned, which actually was not bad. I think that's everything. I did grab a crystal mold. Oh, actually, I don't know if the person for this set with the feathers is here or not, but the set with the spooky set, ooh, lotus flowers. That'd be pretty. the spooky set, normally I do like a keychain with, let me pull this out too. Oops, it's just my, pull this out as well. I usually do like a keychain when I do commission sets. Would you like the crystal shape, or would you prefer some other shape? Because I do have other shapes too. I have a little bottle. I have, you know, random sphere. Although this sphere is being used at the moment. All sorts of other, you know, random drop pendants like this, or flat pendants. If you have a preference for shape. But while you think on that, I think I'll get my my resin ready. Let me make sure I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're gonna do about 80 milliliters, I think. And that'll probably be more than oh, let me make sure that I have. I need to grab a mixing cup for. Make sure I have a mixing cup for all of these. That would be useful if I actually have all my pigments ready. Like I knew I was forgetting something. This one's small and really stretchy. See, I can almost turn it inside out. I do have some larger sphere molds that are 2-piece, but okay, I'll probably do the crystal. I like the crystal shape, but I figured since you're here, I could ask you. All right, let's get this set up. This is the silver that I'm going to do in the sphere mold for my grandma. And I should not need very much. I'm just going to do a little base, so that should be probably enough. I really don't think I'll need very much there. Okay, so there's that. And then this one, should I do a black base maybe? I really need to clean up all of my containers. I have a whole bunch sitting over here that still have resin in them. It's just been, I don't know, I've been kind of like busy lately, I guess. I've been mostly working on making things. I need to actually take some time to clean things. Oh yeah, no worries, no problem. All right, and then I think we'll do probably a black base for these. Oh yeah, I know which ones you're talking about. Yeah, I have one of those that I've actually used for ice. Oh, you know what? I should. Where did those molds go? Okay, so I have a whole bunch of silicone molds on the wall behind me that I got for soap. So I'm not going to use them for resin because I got them for soap. But there is one set that I have over there that I haven't used for either. I don't know if I want to use it for ice or soap or resin, and that's because it's little skulls. I believe it's this set here. This one, no, that's the sphere ones. Where did the skulls go? Huh. My craft space, oh, it's right here. My craft space is a mess if you couldn't tell. So I have these that are it's technically an ice tray for little skulls. It's like, oh man, I could do like flowers in that, which would be cool. Or I could do skull-shaped soaps. Or I could just straight up do ice cubes. It's like, oh, I don't know what I want to do. Okay, that one's going to be, I think, black resin. And then we will do the colors on top. I think this is for that. This is for this. Oh, and then I need one more for the amber colored one. All right. Yeah, I have definitely. Craft spaces are supposed to be messy. You make quilts, you know how it is. Yeah, that seems. You got your mom a floating Buddha ice cube mold. That sounds fun. Can craft spaces even be organized? I mean, yeah, that reminds me of something that I was kind of laughing about, because I've often called myself a little bit of a hoarder, just because I tend to collect random little things, or I keep things that it's just like, I could use this for an art project, and then I just have random junk all over my house. But I've met so many, like, artists and stuff that are also like that. I'm just like, I'm not a hoarder, I'm an artist. Fondant molds letters, and they came out really cool, sort of frosted. Oh, yeah. As soon as you organize, you get more stuff. I know, yeah, that's the thing. Well, here. I'm so close to being done with this piece. We've worked on it on stream before, but that was kind of the inspiration for this painting, was the fact that I keep collecting random stuff. And so I finally took some of the random stuff that I collected and glued it to a canvas. And I should do this so that you can actually see. Just a moment here. I'm going to tilt this up a little bit. Ah! What did I just hit? What am I hitting? Stop that. No, why is it? Oh, okay. I double clicked and it made it full screen. Okay, we'll just keep it like that. So yeah, that was the inspiration for this piece here, was the fact that I kept collecting random stuff. There's all sorts of fun switches on here and stuff too. I like the fact that things move. Like random switch. Okay, anyways, let me put this away. Yeah, you can see the tower of like soap stuff I need to clean back here. We're just gonna put this back down here where you can't see that. That seems like a good plan. We'll just get that so you can't see the mess. You bought another glitter today? Oh wow. So now there's 56 options. Man, do you have them like organized by color? Because that's always just so satisfying to me when things are organized by color. I have all of my, you have a lot more like glitter type things than I do. Like, I have all my glitter organized by color, sort of, but I don't really have as many of the like pretty fancy holographic glitters like you do. You had a raven and dove fight in your backyard yesterday. The dove won, believe it or not, but left feathers behind in the fight. Ah, you took some and put them in some of the molds tonight. Ooh. That's cool. Trying to convince your husband to build you a glitter shelf. Hi, Jen. You made a big salad. Yum. That sounds good. Okay. I think I've got everything now. Do need this. Got everything now. So let's pour some resin. You have a glitter drawer. That's fun. Okay, so I'm gonna be a little bit muffled for the rest of the stream. Your glitter. This does not surprise me, Scryer. Scryer makes dice as well, and I feel like her signature thing is glitter. So, okay, but I'm gonna be a little bit muffled for the rest of the stream, just for yeah. You know how most people are, what, like 75% water or whatever, you're just like 75% glitter. But yes, I'm going to be a little bit muffled for the rest of the stream, just so you guys know. If I say anything that is hard to understand or something, just let me know and I'll repeat it. Yes, let me grab a new set of gloves. But, safety first. Oh yeah, Scryder does also stream dice making on Twitch. So, if you like watching dice making, go follow Scryer as well. I should set up a shout out feature. I should make you shout out yourself, Scryer. That seems kind of funny. Since you're a mod. Okay. So we're gonna pour some resin. I grab that. Okay. So I don't have a shout out function. I don't actually have a thing for it. I need to set it up. I literally only have pointless exclamation mark things. And Discord. I'm pretty sure the only things I have four things set up. I have exclamation mark glitter, exclamation mark bunk, and then you put at someone's name. I have exclamation mark lurk, and then I have exclamation mark discord, which only works for mods on that one. Actually, Scrier, if you could you do exclamation mark discord? Yeah, thank you. So I do have a Discord as per request, but yeah, the other ones everyone else can do. I don't know why I set it up so that only mods could do that. It just seemed relevant. But okay, I am going to be kind of quiet for a moment here because I need to measure this out, and I can't talk and measure at the same time. But feel free to chat amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Right, I'm close. Okay. Measuring, that's definitely not important. No, never. Okay. Alright. There's 40 of that one. Yeah, I do want these to be as exactly the same as possible so that things cure properly and give you squishy dice. Do you want squishy dice, Scry, or just, I have some for you. Do it by taste. Could use a little bit more part B. Okay, just a moment here. Okay. Yes, I do want these to be as exactly the same as possible, so that it cures properly. I mean, I have some squishy dice. If you add too much stretch, actually that's a good idea. If you guys have been sitting for too long or anything too, might be a good idea to stretch as well. Yeah, no, I have some squishy dice because if you add too much of a pigment, be it alcohol ink or the resin pigment or anything, you can make it so that it doesn't set up properly. Actually, here, I'm just gonna stand up for a minute. We'll stir it this way. I also want to make sure that I mix it completely, because that's another way to get, improperly cured dice, is to not mix it for long enough. You want your back as angry as possible for the chiropractor tomorrow. That's how that works, right? That's how that works. Supposed to have it be as bad as possible before going. Yeah, so this'll take a minute. You can tell that it's not mixed completely because it's super cloudy at the moment. So we want to make sure that we mix it until there's no streaks of anything in it. It should all look the same. Oh, you threw a few pieces today after waiting over a week and they were still tacky. Yeah, sometimes it's because there's too much pigment. I have a couple of dice here that I could probably pull out and show you. This is my box of failures. There's a lot fewer in here than there used to be because I had someone that bought a whole bunch of failures, but here's one that I pulled out earlier. And I don't know if you'll be able to see. I can probably put it's like squishy. Oops, where did it's kind of hard to see, but it's very, yeah, here, you can kind of see with this. Maybe you can see, but see how squishy it is? That's not what you want. Not what you want. I have that problem. So this isn't going to sound good for the Petri set, but that's a problem that I have with Petri sets quite often, is that either I add too little pigment and so it doesn't drop down the way that I want it to, or add too much pigment and it ends up soft. So, you know, these I'll be making this set, and then if they don't end up, I'll be making them again. The one that I just touched has only been in the box for a day. Squishy Dice in the Box of Failure novel, but I think I have some in there that have been have been in there for a while now, and are still just a little bit squishy. They're not like tacky, they're just squishy, which is always kind of fun. That one might actually set up, but your gaming group is epic fail. What do you mean? Squishy Dice in the Box of Failure. Sounds like the beginning of a series. It actually kind of does. That'll be the new D&D podcast. Will be Squishy Dice in the Box of Failure. You know, keep your ears peeled. Yeah. Call yourselves epic fail. The adventures of the epic fail. Stay tuned. All right, this is still getting mixed. I am scraping the sides so I can make sure that I don't get any of one part or another stuck to the sides. I want it all to be mixed completely. Let's see if same with the bottom, because you know I don't want like a glob of part A or part B just hanging out, showing up later, causing a ruckus, being all loud. The tribe of idiots. And no, epic fail against the tribe of idiots. Who will come out on top? Only time will tell. Place your bets now. Here, and the Squishy Dice in the Box of Failure. You're intrigued by the Squishy Dice? Like making a set of Squishy Dice? To be fair, I have seen people make silicone dice, which is pretty cool. This is looking pretty good. I tend to overmix my resin a little bit because I have a pressure pot, which helps with bubbles. So I'm not as worried about mixing a little bit of extra air in there as someone who doesn't have a pressure pot might be. So I probably overmix a little bit, but oh, so inking the silicone dice. Yeah, it's a different process, I think. It looks like, from what I've seen of the people who've made silicone dice, and I have no plan to make silicone dice because I think that'd be just kind of a pain. I don't have the equipment for it. But it looks like they fill in the numbers with more silicone, and so they have to be a lot more precise. Like the way that we fill in dice, at least Scryer and I, is we go and take a whole bunch of acrylic paint, we dab it into the number, and then we wipe off the face. So then all the paint stays in the number. But if you're doing silicone dice, silicone doesn't really wipe off of silicone all that well. Silicone sticks to silicone. So, what, am I exposing our secret here on cube thing? What cube thing? I don't know what you mean by cube thing. If you're mad and rolling them, they bounce everywhere. Probably. To be fair, I don't know that they would. They might bounce and roll, but I don't think that they'd be like weighted or anything. Just because like you can have them be fairly solid. Like there's different toughnesses of silicone. Okay, I think this is probably good. Let me just scrape the sides one more time and make sure here. Yeah, I think I don't see any streaks in here, so I think we're good to go. Alright, I'm actually gonna sit down again. Alright, so I think I'm gonna do this set first. I'm gonna do the Petri set first because I want this to be as liquidy as possible. You've been known to roll angrily, occasionally. I'm gonna do the Petri set first because I want the resin to be as liquidy as possible so that it has, time, and also it's liquidy enough for all of the ink to start dropping down. So we're going to do our silver here. We'll do about 15 milliliters. And it's not important that it's exact. Okay, about 15 of that, and about, Oh, a foam die that you throw when necessary. Oh, that sounds nice. It's always, like, every once in a while, you know, I want to throw something across the room. It's nice to have something soft to do it. As long as it has a good, like, heft to it. Okay, just a second here. Let me pour this. Apparently a company partnered with a bunch of dice makers to make resin cubes. Wait, what? They've made some machine or something to cut dice out of the resin cubes? Could you send a link to me, Scryer? Maybe in our group chat? I don't know. What do you mean? Oh, I think I saw something. I feel like I saw something where people were making resin cubes, but what's the point of them? Hi, Not Name Brand. How you doing? Glad you could join us. What's the point of just having a resin cube, though? I don't know. I guess I'm a little confused. Or is the point that you just make resin cubes and then they cut them into dice? Oh, you just make like a resin cube and then they cut them into dice. Is that the idea? Okay. All right. So I'm making kind of a teal here. I'm going to do a drop of this blue, and then I'm going to do a drop of this green, which I need to. Oh, so you pour a fancy cube and then send it to them to cut into dice. Oh. Let's see, you want a plushie. When you got the idea from your dad, he was a junior high science teacher, kept 2 bricks on his desk. 1 real, 1 foam. He took the foam, 1 at sleeping suit. Wait, that sounds really familiar. That sounds really familiar. I feel like I've heard that before, and or I have a teacher who did that. Which would be very weird if it was your father. Oh, I'd say that I just got a message from probably Scribe. See, fair, that's kind of a cool idea, but I feel like it wouldn't work for what I like to do. It wouldn't really work for what you like to do either. Oh, it was on Reddit? Oh, maybe that's where I saw it. I saw it in like a post or something. Can't remember. That maybe ended up a little bit more green than I meant to. I don't know. It's not bad. Maybe add a little bit more blue. I've been seeing it on Facebook. A few people in your dice making Discord. I think I saw something on like Instagram where someone had a bunch of like cubes. I wasn't sure what it was, but that's interesting. I don't think it would work for how I like making dice, but it's definitely interesting. Okay, so there's our teal, our glow in the dark teal. We have our clear here. Let me grab something to mix that up as well. That's gonna work. And next, I want to. Oh, it could be fun for fancy Petri sets. That's an interesting idea. Alright, so I have some silver foil in here, and I want to kind of break that up into smaller pieces. So there's kind of like little pieces kind of floating. Actually, that broke up pretty easily. Broke up a lot easier than my gold usually does. Okay. Do I want any more? It's a little bit hard to tell. Oh, I should have added more. That in there. You know, I think that's probably good. I think it's enough that it's not going to get, like, it's enough that you can see the silver in there, but it's not so much that it's going to get in the way of the other stuff going on, so that'll be good. I'm going to cut out the super saturated side of the Petri and just leave the drip. See, that would be nice, because that is the issue. Like, the Petri part itself is fine, but then you get to the super saturated part, and I end up with squishy dice, which is an issue. But yeah, glow in the dark. Yeah, building up big stock, I can see that. Okay, so we're gonna put a little bit of this into each of these, and then we're gonna add our teal. I'll show you. There's a couple different ways that we can add the teal to get kind of an inky effect. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm gonna add. So I'm gonna add a bit of the clear with the silver foil. It's just got kind of like a kind of small flakes of silver foil, which I think looks nice. So I'm not gonna go all the way up. And then I'm gonna take our glow in the dark teal here. I'm gonna take a little bit of that and put that in there. Put just a couple drops in all of these. And it's just gonna be kind of a drop on the surface at the moment. And then we're going to, I'm going to take my tool here and just kind of swirl it around a bit. And that'll kind of end up kind of inky swirled in there. Alright. And that's all swirled now. Okay. I have quite a bit of that left, which will probably end up in here. What's the pot life on? Yeah, probably about 45 minutes. I probably push it a little bit. I push it a little bit, depending on what I'm doing too. I'll wait for it to be fairly thick. Probably closer to about 50 minutes, but yeah, it's around there. A little bit less than an hour. Okay, and I actually don't want these up full all the way. Okay, so I'm, normally I would overfill these so they're domed a little bit, and like this one is domed a little bit, and I don't really want that. So I don't want these filled up too much, because we're going to add our ink on top. I use Art and Glow resin. I just got it on Amazon. It's a little bit thicker. Some people like thicker resin. Some people like thinner resin. I like mine a little bit thicker for the kind of stuff that I usually do. Just works out. Alright, so we have our kind of teal swirls in there with our silver foil, and then we're going to try doing a Petri on top of that. So I'm going to take my black ink here. Yeah, I did just spray it with alcohol, and I don't know why I did it, because I'm going to be adding alcohol to it, which is just silly of me. I did it to try and pop the surface bubbles, because it breaks the surface tension. But it's a little bit redundant since I'm going to be adding. I might need to get some more black, too. Okay. Yeah, it was a habit. I did it out of habit. Alright, so you've got some black on top of there. I'm going to take some white. I did order more white alcohol ink the other day, which is good. I use so much white alcohol ink. Okay. Alright, so we're going to let that sit for a little bit. Yes, I did order the big bottle. I have it right here. So, yeah, I got a big thing of white, and then it came with a little bottle with like a dropper thing, which is super, super handy. So I got that all filled up, but I'm going to, use the one that I have for now. Okay, so we're going to let that sit for a little bit and let some of that color start dropping down to the bottom. That's how the Petri works, is you have your color, whatever you want, and then the white pigment tends to be kind of heavier and also more opaque. And so it helps drag all of those other colors down to the bottom. Alright, and we've got our spare. We're going to probably use a little bit of this on top, so I'll keep that for now. Actually, we're going to... Oh, gosh. That's no fun. That does not sound good. That was probably a mess. Oh. That's part of the reason I'm glad that it came with a little bottle, is because it's going to make it so much easier. So I think to do, yeah, that does not sound good. So I'm going to use all of this extra resin to make a couple of extra dice, or an extra die and a keychain. So I do that for commissions. Sometimes with the fate dice, so I finally made like a single fate die mold, because before that I just had my set of 4, and it's nice because I usually try to send like an extra die with dice orders, just in general, but for commissions it's always kind of fun to use like the extra resin for that. So there's our extra resin. Let's use that there. So we'll be doing some stuff there. Would it work using UV as well, or is it I don't know. I don't use UV as much as I use the two-part. I mean, it's worth a try. I don't see why it would. You know, I don't know. There's reasons it may or may not. Like, if it's opaque enough, it's possible it won't cure because you won't be able to get the light in there. Okay, so we need about 30 milliliters of this, you're saying. So it's, oh, I don't know why I'm using this container. This was a poor decision, really. Because 30 milliliters is right there. That's actually a little bit, yeah. I shouldn't have used this container. I don't know why I did. Oh, this one right here, yeah, this is just a single fate die. I finally went and made the, let's just use, another. I finally just made a single one that I thought would be useful. Keycaps, yeah, let's see, little broken pieces of wood, chest pieces, whatever. Yeah. I really enjoy working with resin, and part of it is because you can kind of do whatever you want. Like, you can put almost anything in resin as long as it doesn't have like water in it. As long as there's no water in it, it seems to cure pretty well. Like, I've put all sorts of different spices into resin, just to see, you know, like, how does it look? Like, cinnamon works pretty well for a brown pigment. Wasabi powder makes a very strange green color. Alright, so there's a blue. So we're going to do kind of an inky swirl in this as well, but we're going to be doing that one differently. So, with this one we poured our resin to make it glow in the dark. This one we're going to add this. Start adding some of this. And I'm going to go about halfway. Just a little bit in there. There's a cat hair in one of these that I don't want. I don't want a cat hair in there. Get out of there. Alright, just in here. Alright. Take a fresh rose petal today and you tried spraying lacquer on it first to see if it would seal in the moisture. Oh, that's an interesting idea. I've just dried mine for the most part, but I'd be curious to know how well it works. He may replace his brothers when they misbehave. Yeah, there you go. That's a good use for it. So how I ended up doing that. So I mean, I started out doing the 7-piece sets and not the fake dice. And so I had a friend who was asking about fake dice because they were looking for someone who made them, and I was just like, I don't, but I could. And then amusingly, I haven't actually made fate dice for them. Oh well. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna take a drop of this and put it in each of these. Do this. Sitting here. Let me add this. This is the royal blue. Yes. Okay. But what was I saying? Oh, for the 7-piece sets, you know, even before I did commissions, I would always send like an extra D4 with all of the dice. I'm pouring this from up high so that hopefully it will displace some of that dark blue pigment that I just put in there and kind of swirl it around a little bit. I am going to also take my little stir stick here and swirl it around a little bit, but that usually does a pretty good job of kind of displacing it and moving it around. I'd always send like a bonus D4. So I was doing, you know, I've been doing the traditional D4 shape, and then I also have like a mold for like a crystal shape. I've been moving towards the crystal shape now, but you know, when I was first starting, I would, you know, send them the traditional D4 shape and then a bonus of the crystal D4 shape. And I still do that to a certain extent, even though I have started moving towards the crystal shape. But so when I started doing the like fate dice and stuff, I still wanted to send like extra dice, because I figure if someone's ordering a set of dice, that's something that they would use. Like if they're ordering dice, they probably use dice. And I always feel like it's kind of fun when there's like a little bonus extra thing that comes along. So that's how I ended up doing that. But I had for the like commission sets for the fate dice and stuff, Before, you would just get like you'd get your keychain, but then you'd just get like a random bonus fake die. Yeah, see, I could probably use some more black. See, a couple of these don't look like they have very much. I'm going to do another drop of black. Let's see how well this works. Try and fill it in a little bit. Oh, fate. Yes, that's the plus and minus dice. Yeah, fate dice. No, fate. Or fudge. They're called both, yes. Sorry for the confusion there, yeah. I can see how that would sound very similar. Let that fall into. So this set. Okay. We're going to do about 15 to 20 milliliters. Just get it to there. Alright. I have a little bit of extra, which is good, because I might need a little bit more for that. Alright. So we're going to do we're going to do a dirty pour here. I'm going to make this black resin, because I found that black is usually a good kind of background color for my dirty pours. If I'm going to do it kind of alcohol ink based, it works well. Alright, let me grab something to stir this with. No place like home. Alright. Might need to add a little bit more. I could have done an opaque black. I have like an opaque black that works really well. This is more of a translucent black, but so it's a little bit not as dark, but that's okay. Let's see, what were we talking about? Oh, well, so when I was first starting to sell things, I wanted like something extra to send along with like the order, because I've seen that before, and it's always kind of fun when you open an order and there's like stickers or something like that. But I wanted to send something that I figured people would actually want or use. So for dice, it made sense to send dice along, because people are ordering dice. I can, assume that they use dice or that they like dice. So it just made sense. And then the keychains for the commission sets made sense to me, because I figure if you're ordering a commission set, usually you're ordering a set for something that's important to you. And so having like a little keepsake that matches, it makes sense. It's for a character that matters to you, or a setting or something like that that's important to you. So started doing that. Okay. I guess I probably actually should have grabbed a different container for this, but that's okay. So there's our black. So what we're going to do, I guess we can just do it in here. I don't need the black here, but I want the blue. So we're going to do red, yellow, and blue. Do I want a separate container? We'll do a separate container. Okay. So for dirty pours, what a dirty pour is you take all of your colors and you put them in one cup, and then you pour that into your mold. So let's do this. I think of this when I do about 5. A little less than 5. Okay, so I'm going to add all of my colors to here. We'll do our pink, our yellow, and our blue. Used to do the same thing with booze at the end of the party. Oh, wow. This is unrelated to that, but it's kind of fun. So I did soap before I ever did. That's always kind of satisfying to me when I drop in the white and you can see the colors all of a sudden. Before I did, I don't know why I'm putting that on, I'm going to do that again. Before I did resin, I did soap. And it's funny because you can do the exact same thing with soap too. So then I'm going to take those and pour them in there. And this might be a little bit too much pigment for this, we'll see. And actually, I probably should have put a little bit more resin in here, but that's okay. And that's fine, I can add some more. And then you end up with all sorts of, we'll see how they look when they turn out. But I love doing dirty pours with the alcohol ink, because you can get some really pretty colors and stuff. And the reason that I grabbed a separate, and I don't know if it'll actually end up looking, you know, like that once it's done. The reason that I grabbed a separate container here is because it's kind of the best if you add new ink for each pour. If you want more, what's the word I'm looking for? Not even, but uniform. That's what I'm looking for. If you want more uniform sort of look. And something that I've found that works really well is if you have like a black background and then you do your colors and then you add white to it, like they end up super bright. And I think I actually got that from someone else who'd made a set online, and I'd asked them about it, like, oh my gosh, how did you get such bright colors? And they're like, it's, you know, black resin, and I just added the colors with a little bit of white. And I'm like, wait, and they ended up super bright, and they're like, yeah. And I'm like, cool. So I tried it out, and it's like, oh wow, that's really cool. Yeah, I could have used a little bit more resin there. All right, well, that's fine. I did it again. I haven't actually tried this before with these three colors, and now I'm excited because I think it's going to turn out pretty. They're looking pretty to me. The alcohol ink is a mess, though. Okay. Oh, hopefully this is not so much alcohol ink, though, that we end up with a sticky mess at the end. That's not what I want. There we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah, I want enough to like kind of overfill it a little bit. I want it to be a little bit domed. I want a little bit of extra resin because I'm going to be putting these into a pressure pot, which is going to take all of the bubbles that are in them and push them down really, really small so that you can't even see them. But, you know, because that's happening, I need a little bit of extra resin to fill in the space where the air bubbles were. So I want to have a little bit of extra on top. You know, I want it to be kind of a little bit overfilled. And I'll actually end up just going to dome it a little bit. And then I'll actually add a little bit to the lids as well, but we'll do that in a minute. I'll probably use almost the rest of this actually. I'm just going to use the rest of this. I don't know why I'm even pouring this into the other container. I'm just going to be using the rest of this anyways. All right. So let's do one more. I love this is one of my favorite techniques right here. I always really enjoy doing. If you leave the bubbles in there, like if I don't put it in the pressure pot, or if I have a whole bunch of air bubbles in there before putting it in the pressure pot, because there's two different answers there. If there's like a whole bunch of bubbles in the resin when I put them in the pressure pot, sometimes they'll like combine together into one big bubble, and it'll be big enough that it can't push it down, and you'll end up with a big gap, which is not what you want. Just empty. Ooh, that's cool looking. I really like how this one looks right here. Oops. See if it'll focus. It never does. There we go. Look at that. Look at those colors. Okay. So let this sit off to the side for now. I have a little tray over here. So I'm just gonna set this off to the side, out of the way for now, so we can let all the air rise to the surface. Have I tried doing dirty pours, adding ink between pours versus separating the ink before pouring? Adding ink between pours versus separating. But I'm not quite understanding, I don't think. Kind of looking cool with clear resin with bubbles. I mean, I guess what it's trying to do, it depends on what you're trying to do. It's for dice making, you know, it depends on what you're trying to do. For a lot of the things that I do, I don't like the way it looks, and also making dice, and so if I leave air bubbles in there, they'll try to rise to the surface, and it'll make it so that my dice aren't weighted properly, because they'll be lighter on the side that has all the bubbles. And also, like, I like doing things that have, like, little scenes in them and the like, you know, have, you know, cactuses or little teacups or something like that. And bubbles make it a little bit more difficult to see those things, so I personally don't like it, but, you know, for what I'm making. But, let's see, separating the resin. Doing dirty pours, adding ink, separating the resin. Oh, so you mean just have like the full container, not name brand, are you saying have the full thing of resin, and then adding ink, pouring, and like adding more ink and pouring out of the same container? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying just adding all of the ink in the, oh, okay. You can do that. I don't think it would really affect. The only reason I don't do that is because especially when I'm doing things like that where it has 3 colors, where if you mix them all together you get brown. Things tend to get a little bit more mixed as you go, and so I'd probably end up with a brown. But I don't know. I haven't tried that. Maybe we'll try that next time. I don't actually plan on doing resin on Saturday, so I do stream twice a week for those of you who aren't here usually. I do stream on Wednesdays and Saturdays, but I don't actually plan to do resin on Saturdays. I really want to get a new emote made, and then also maybe figure out like some stickers or something, because I think it'd be fun to have stickers to send along with packages that are not just random stickers, so that I had lying around that I cut into smaller sections. Alright. Is that going to be tall enough? Yeah, I think that'll be good. Alright, that one's all set as well. That's just a little sphere that I'm doing for a necklace for my grandma. It's going to have a little mountain in it. Oh yeah, please feel free to send me ideas. I'm always looking for ideas for things to do. I did add a couple of channel point things too. I need to add more alcohol. I did add a couple more channel point things too yesterday or the day before. That for those of you who are interested in getting things from my store or are interested in seeing certain things on my channel may interest you. Because there's now some fairly high channel point things for either a discount code for my store, or I just tried to put this lid on here, that's not going to work, or like a custom stream, so you know, you decide what we work on. And I am thinking at some point, here we go, I'm going to spray these. Actually, I don't think I need to swirl these around. I think these are looking pretty cool. Maybe I could show you on the D6 how the ink, it might be dark enough so you won't be able to see. Let's see if I can, I might need to move this. Can you see? It's kind of hard to show. There you go. You can kind of see how the ink is in there. Yeah, alright. So I think actually we're going to leave those how they are. Cool. We're letting some of the air bubbles rise to the surface on there. Alright, let's see how this is doing. So, this one is actually, you know, it's good that I kept a little bit of that extra black. Kind of, what? It looks like those dice you tried winning on Twitter. Okay, I'm going to add some of this black actually to this side, because that'll help kind of tie that black to this side. Alright. Kind of what? Was I in the middle of saying something? I was gonna say, I can't remember if I had started saying, oh, you can kind of see the ink. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to see Unfortunately, some of that stuff's kind of hard to show on camera. I'll probably tell you what, if you guys are interested, I will post pictures of how things turned out on my Discord. Usually I don't do that as much with the commission sets, but you know, I'm doing it on stream and people are interested. So, yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing how these things turn out, I can post pictures on Discord, which. Why can't I? Interesting. It's more clear. For some reason, I can't type here. Okay, thank you, Jen. Yeah, for some reason it won't let me type. So thank you. It's mad at me. I don't know why. All right. I'm just trying. All right, yeah. So yeah, I'll post pictures of these tomorrow and see how they turn out. I'm add a little bit more resin here, so that's a little bit more overflowed again. I'm gonna try and do that so that filling in, you know, I don't want to make it so that it's all the black is on one side or something. I'm just gonna try and fill that in a little bit. And then like I said, I added a little bit of black to the lid here, so hopefully that'll kind of tie things together a little bit. All right, get that all done. Throw that off to the side. And here's the rainbow ones again. You can see they're all kind of melting together a little bit, but actually let me spray that down too. Okay, and I feel like the Discord's pretty chill, so you know, it's a pretty chill place. Feel free to send a link, not name brand. My rule is that you can send links as long as I know that you're sending a link and what it is. And so you said that there was a Twitter giveaway with dice, so I have an idea of what you're talking about. Oh, why does that not work? Alright, now I can click on it. Ooh. Okay, yeah, those are probably done pretty similarly. With kind of like a black ink maybe with the blue base. Cool. Yeah, that's probably done fairly similarly. Oh, the ones with the teal may look a little bit different. They're going to probably look a little bit more watercolor-ish, I think, than the blue ones here. And part of that is just because the teal that we added in those was as a resin, and this was as an ink. So, but we'll see. Oops, let's not get cat hair in there. Free cat hair with every die. Making dice like that is a lot of fun. Yeah. You know, it's kind of funny. This was part of my I'm a sham moment yesterday. I think maybe I was just tired. Although at the same time, I think so. There's kind of, I saw it pointed out once, where there's kind of levels when you're making things, or you're getting good at something, where when you're just starting out, like you maybe don't see. There's just kind of there's a certain amount of like when you look at cat hair there too. No worries. All right, that's good to know. When you're starting to do something or you're starting to make something, there's that moment where you're just starting out and you don't know how, like, that you're bad at it yet. Like you don't know it well enough to know how you can improve. And then you start getting better, and you start getting better at it, and you start seeing where you can improve at it. And so you start being like a harsher critic on yourself. And Just a second, let me find something to stir this with because I didn't actually grab anything. There's one. You start being a little bit of a harsher critic, and then you get to a point where you've improved enough that you start feeling like you're better at it again, but then the cycle just starts over. And I feel like I'm kind of at that point where the cycle has started over a little bit. Yeah, I think everyone has that with art to a certain extent, where it's, you feel like you could be doing better. That's maybe a little bit more orange than I want. Yeah, a little bit of this. But I do feel like I'm kind of in that stage a little bit at the moment where it's just like I could be making something cooler than this. Not like this necessarily, but like I'll be sitting here making dice and I'm just like, I feel like I could make something that's better than this. And, even though, I usually don't try to tell people that, because quite often I'm still making something that someone else might enjoy. And I don't want to like dissuade them from enjoying it. But I think I've kind of gotten to that point a little bit where like those dice that you just sent, they're beautiful. And they'd also be very easy to make. Not easy in the sense that like they'd still take a lot of time and effort and stuff, but that style, like you just saw how I did it. Like it was resin and then a drop of ink and then more resin on top. And that's probably going to be very, very similar. And so I've kind of gotten to that point a little bit where when I make something like that, even though, it might be really pretty and other people who, don't make dice and stuff, or even people who do make dice might be like, ooh, that's really cool looking. Like, I'm at a point where I'm just like, I can do better than this. I can make something more interesting. But at the same time, it's just like, it's still valuable to make things that are I don't know, not simple. Like, just dice in general aren't simple to make, but like, I don't know, I want to do more complex stuff. I want to do more complex stuff again, guys. I want to start planning out things, like the mountain die and things like that. Like, there's just something fun about that. That's why you have people who don't make dice judge your prices before you put anything up. That's actually true. That's part of the reason that I have asked my Discord before, like, I have no idea how much I should price this for. And it's funny because, like, the folks that told me I should raise my prices, I mean, obviously Scryer has said, raise your prices. But the people who told me to raise my prices were folks that had bought stuff from me, which is a good sign, I feel like. It's a good sign. Get all the pop bubbles. Okay. So it's got a little bit of orange left. It looks so pretty in the cup too. Okay. So we've got a little bit left. I've got a couple of. It gets boring. It's not even necessarily that it gets boring. It's just, it's not even that it's boring necessarily. Like, I know people who make beautiful dice that are not simple, but like they're very sleek and elegant. You're just petting a dog. Oh yeah, doing the same thing over and over again can get old. I mean, I know that. Yeah, I had a desk job for 5 years. Like, I know that doing the same thing over and over again can get old. And that's part of the reason that I have really enjoyed making dice, is because I can do something different every time. Like, that is part of the reason that I love doing dice, and part of the reason that I love doing commissions as well, is because, I'm doing something different every time. And doing commissions, it gives me ideas for things to do different every time, or it requires me to try something that I haven't done before, or, stuff like that. Like, there's plenty of ways with dice where I'm just like, I've never tried that before. That'd be really cool to try. Yeah, and you can get a little bit old doing the same thing over and over again, but also it's just like, I want to develop some sort of unique style. And like, I know that I have some sort of unique art style, and like, I feel like maybe my next time you'll give me something tricky to do. Alright. Now hold your horse. No. A little bit of clear here. This is just a spare die mold that I had already partially filled with some resin from yesterday. So there's that one. And I was gonna say it's so tiny skulls in there. I want to do that at some point. And I mean, I have like. So funny ideas to yourself. There's a tiny skull that I made. I want to get the. It'll never focus when I want it to. There we go. I made this one out of polymer clay. I do want to get the Resin 3D printer set up so that I can print out stuff like that, like tiny skulls and things, because I feel like that'd be really useful for kind of mass producing that. I don't know. Oh, I didn't think you were kidding. I did not think you were kidding. And I've been kind of wanting to do dice that have like skulls and stuff in them. So yeah, Jen always has ideas for dice though. You're gonna need tiny skull dice. I was talking about this earlier. Not the skull dice, but the thing that I'm most excited to get at the moment is the inserts for the dice. So I ordered basically blank dice that are slightly smaller than the dice I have now, so that they'll fit inside of my dice kind of snugly. Because there's so many things that I could do with those that I'm excited to try out. Like, pouring like a solid color or something, blank die, and then painting it, and then putting that into the mold and having like a die. Oh, do your wedding rings have skulls on them? Let me just write this all down. So this is just a little bit of. No, I didn't think you were kidding. I was gonna say that's awesome. Dude, I love stuff like that. I have a taxidermy goose on my wall upstairs. Like, I love curio and things like that. That's really fun. Let's put this in here. Forgot about the keychain. I always forget about the keychain. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Okay. I have that song stuck in my head all day today. Almost. Oops, wait. Actually, I shouldn't be doing that because I need that blue for here. No, what am I thinking? I need that for my lids. So I try to take a little bit of the extra resin. No, that wasn't well thought out on my part. I take a little bit of the extra resin. Why is there so much? Oh, I think this is from the feathers. I was like, why is there so many random little like hairs all over the place? I'm pretty sure that it's from all the feathers. Alright, there we go. What was I just saying? I don't think it was about skulls. Did I say it earlier today, something? Oh dear, this is an issue. Yeah, see this is... I don't know how many of you... I don't know if any of you also stream. I know Scryer does, but I don't know if like any of the rest of you also stream. But I tend to turn my brain off a little bit while I'm streaming. Something about resin fumes and short-term memory loss. That was probably it. There's a reason I wear a mask. No, but when I'm streaming, you don't remember. No, when I'm streaming, I tend to turn my brain off a little bit, and I'm very stream of consciousness while I'm streaming, because I'm kind of like half focusing on a lot of things, which is funny because I can't half focus on things. I am always just thinking, like, focusing on one thing at a time, which means that I'm not focusing on what I'm saying at all. I'm kind of focusing on making sure that the stream is running smoothly and, like, I'm reading what everyone's saying, and then also, like, what I'm working on. And so I have a tendency to just kind of talk. I don't remember what I talk about at all. I mean, I don't have good memory on the best of days, but... Why is this all purple? Why is it all purple? I don't know. Do any of the rest of you guys stream? Or do you mostly just watch streams? See, I'm one of those inserts. Excellent. I'm glad you remember. What was I saying about them? I was excited about them. I'm still excited about them. Okay, cool. I think we got the purple off. I'm trying to get some of this stuff off of the lids. Because I don't actually want cat hair in all of these dice. I know I joke about there being free cat hair with every set of dice, but I don't actually need cat hair in all this. You were stuck on the taxidermy thing? Oh, once I started talking about it, you kept thinking about it and started changing it. Oh, I was talking about how I like curio. I don't remember where I was going with that. I actually have a rat skull sitting next to me. I'm pretty sure it's a rat skull. Sure looks like one. Some sort of small rodent. I got it out of an owl pellet that I had. Is it sitting over here? I have a box of little bones here, including an almost full, like, rodent skull of some sort. Dude, I've got all sorts of random stuff. I also have a snake skin over here, but, that's for my friend's snake. Oh, I got all excited about tiny skull dice because I want to do that. I want to get I want to get my Resin 3D printer figured out. I did finally get it to print something, Scryer, if you're still here. I did finally get it to print something, but I'm still getting it figured out. It's getting stuff to stick to the build plate that I'm having problems with. Your mind's not working great tonight. There's been 4 other conversations while you're trying to figure out what you wanted to say. Oh no. I feel like I used to be quicker. Like, more quick-witted. I feel like I'm not very quick-witted anymore. I don't know. It's like my brain works slower. No sad, just tired. Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. I know that definitely I'm slower when I'm tired, so that's relatable. Like, understandable. Ooh. Actually, so, we're just going to add a little bit of clear instead. You haven't made it. I know you're right. Are you sick? Is everything okay? You haven't made a single pun tonight. You're slacking. Actually, we have a little bit of clear left. We've got some of this left. I think we're gonna add some clear to here. Maybe a little bit of the black. Just gonna fill this up with clear. You need puns. Hold on a second. Not an Imprints, not a pun machine, even if it may seem like it. Oh yes, I do hope that the doggie's getting all of the good pets. So I should have done this probably earlier, but we'll try adding some of the black to there as well. Let's grab an extra, like, D4 or something. And we'll pour this in there. Yeah, things are starting to get very thick, which means we're towards the end of our work time, which makes sense. I think I probably could get these in the pressure pot, but we'll get all of these, we'll get all of the resin used, and then get all of our lids on, and probably call it a night. Let's see, what were we talking about? Oh, so the inserts, I'm excited about those for the dice. I have so many ideas for things I could do with those. Skull dice. But where I was going, and I am curious if anybody else here also streams, besides Scryer, who I know about. Because I do turn off my brain a little bit while streaming. And I've already said this, but I'm remembering where I was. Because I kind of will end up just sort of... I know that I realize that I tend to tell some of the same stories over and over again. And I do realize that. Where did the black one go? There we go.
bunch of you swearing. Oh, how did you? Oh, right. I was going to say, how did you find out about? How did you find out about this? But I know the answer to that. I don't know. Never mind. Oh well, one of the things I was going to say is I don't really watch a lot of streams, which is maybe kind of funny. I'm more of a YouTube person. I'll get on for like Scryer stuff sometimes, and every once in a while I'll catch another stream. But there's a fun fact about me. I don't watch a lot of streams. You're too boomer to put yourself out there on social media, but you're grateful to those that do. No, valid. Like, you know, there's a certain amount of, not pressure, but yeah, I know. I did realize that after a moment, Ronnie Kitten. It took me a second, but I figured it out eventually. Let's do a chocolate black in here too. Yeah. What was the word I was looking for though? Yeah, that's true. You stream all the time. Yeah, I realized the other day that I have streamed more than 100 hours this year already. And then Scryer streamed like double that. Just like, I didn't expect anything different, but and it's fun. But pressure, I guess. There's a certain amount of like pressure that comes with streaming to a certain extent. There's also I don't know if I've talked about this on stream before. There is a certain amount like that's part of the reason I like streaming too. It's definitely it both gives me the an excuse to work on projects that I've been wanting to work on but haven't made the time for, and then also like holds me accountable to actually work on things that I need to get done. But it's not doggy. There's a show called Countdown is alright. Oh, 8 out of 10 cats. Oh, I've watched 8 out of 10 cats. Oh man, I was really into British panel shows at one point. Random fact about me. But, it's not natural being on camera. If you've never been on camera before, like, it takes some getting used to. And it's maybe not something that you would necessarily think about if you've never been on camera before, but it's not, it takes getting used to being in front of a camera. Like, and like this maybe feels less like being in front of I don't know. I guess I've been on camera enough at this point with just, whoops. But even just compared to like when I first started doing this, you know, things are different. But let's add a drop of this. Hey, now I'm thinking about dogs, so you know, you're not alone there, not name brand. Now I can only think of dogs, but yeah, there's a certain amount of getting used to being on camera, and there's a certain amount of like keeping a whole bunch of plates spinning in the air. What is this saying? Keeping plates spinning? No. What is the saying? Keeping plates in the air? I can't remember what the saying is now. But there's a certain amount of having to like pay attention to a lot of things while streaming. You get it right? Okay. One of those was correct. I don't remember which one now, but one of them was correct. And part of the reason that I've done streaming over YouTube videos, even though I watch more YouTube videos, is because there's actually, I feel like, less work to streaming. But keeping the plate spinning in the air. Oh, excellent. Okay, I had all of the pieces right in the correct order. That's the important part. All right. Because there's less editing. And I don't like editing. So I don't know. There's definitely a certain amount of work that goes into videos, but I mean, for like this, I don't think of myself as like a content creator. This is just us hanging out. This is just a way for me to like hang out and chat with people while working on arts and crafts. Oh no, we're gonna have our first ever chat Discord over whether it's spinning plates or keeping plates in the air or what if I rot? Balls in the air. Oh! Keeping balls in the air? Keeping the plates spin? Oh man, guys. I'm just gonna have to go Google this stuff after. Maybe there's more than one saying, too. Okay. I'm just spritzing these all down. It helps break the surface tension on things. But I think we can start putting some of the lids on. Let me move this over so we can, oops, why did that fall over? That's not what I want. Alright. Move this over so we can start seeing what we've got going on. So these have kind of turned kind of purple, messy, but the sides will probably be more colorful. So we'll just put this lid on here. It looks like there's no major bubbles. It's late and dude, it's only 10 p.m. If you're in California, it's only 10 p.m. I know what time it is for you because I'm in the same time zone. No, that's fair. That's fair. I know people have, you know, school and work and all that sort of stuff. Oops. There's a piece of feather here. Let's get that out of there. And then we'll put that on. And we don't want to press it down or anything. Ooh, even a meeting at 5:30 in the morning, that does not sound fun. If you need to hop off, please hop off. You know, get some rest. You know, I'll be here. I'm here twice a week. Go to sleep, Grok. Go get some rest. I'll post photos and stuff on. No way. You gotta take care of yourself. I will post photos. You've learned so much. That's good. If you ever have questions too on like any sort of resin stuff, I may not have the answer. You'll sleep in your bed. I may not always have the answer, but I'm always happy to try and help if I can. So feel free to just message me too. I'm always excited when people are working on resin stuff. So I always like to hear about what people are working on, and then also help in any way I can. You're gonna. Hey, fair warning. I'm really bad at Petri. That is the style that I'm the worst at. Don't tell Rummy Kitten. Like I am. It's one that I want to get better at, and I think I can get better at. Where did the lid for this one go? Oh, it's right here. That saw some bubbles. Oh, the caps. Oh yeah, the caps did actually turn out pretty good. That's a good point. This one I do actually press down a little bit. It's one of those ones like. Yes, I say as I make your dice. Exactly. To be fair, it's one of those ones where if they don't turn out. Oh, thanks. That's really nice, Grok. You should send me photos of what you make too. I'm excited to see how things turn out. I also don't know how well the Petri will turn out if you're not using alcohol inks too. I don't remember if you said you had alcohol inks or not, but that's very nice of you. I just got resin on my finger. No, the Petri, like, I say that I'm not good at Petri. I can get Petri to turn out. I just can't get them to turn out consistently. That's my issue, is like, I haven't figured out how to do them perfectly every time yet. So yeah, so that's the problem. I haven't figured out where the sweet spot is perfectly with Petri. Like there's a sweet spot in the middle because you want to have enough that there's enough pigment to fall to the bottom, but not so much that it makes the dice not cure properly. So you're worried about trying to time the resin being cured enough, but that's part of the see, that's the thing too. You need to know how thick your resin should be, because if it's too thick, it won't make it all the way to the bottom. If it's too thin, it'll all of it will go to the bottom, and it'll completely you won't get any of the tendrils. Did I see your rainbow Petri set? I don't remember. I don't remember if I did, Scryer. Where did you post those? Ah, sticking together. your Discord or something? Sorry, I just read your. Oh, I just realized something. Why isn't the chat box working? Why isn't the chat box working? Why are things being all funky? I just realized that, like, it's not actually showing what you guys are typing on the screen. Now that I'm towards the end, this is. Hey, could someone try typing something for a moment? Now that I'm towards the end of the stream, of course. No, I was just laughing over. Normally I have it so that we can see what everyone's saying. Okay. Oh, no, now it's showing up. Weird. Was it showing up before and I just didn't notice? Okay, weird. Okay. Alright. Okay. Weird. I don't know, yeah, now you can see yourself. Wave to the camera. I don't know why that wasn't. I don't think that was working before. That's weird. I don't know why. Okay, well, this seems to be working now. No, alright. No, I was laughing because Not Named Brand was telling Brock, I found Liz doing a random search trying to see if there were any Dice Maker streams, and I ended up buying from her store even before coming to a stream. I was just amused by that for some reason. Alright, okay. Well, since you're working now, so it'll be there, next stream. That's the first time I've ever had that not work. I guess I'm having all the technical difficulties tonight. My internet decides it doesn't want to work, so that happens. And then my chat box decides it doesn't want to work, so that happens. I don't know. Yeah, take my money. It's that one meme. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna complain. This is okay. So I don't want to keep you guys from buying stuff from my shop, but I do plan to have a lot more in my probably like 20 new sets or so in my shop at the beginning of May. I've finally got it so that I can make a lot more sets, get a lot more sets done in a month. So I do plan to have a lot more sets ready in May. But I mean, I'm not gonna complain if you guys buy stuff from my shop. I mentioned earlier, I did add one of the channel point things is now you can get a tiny skull dice. I might just have to make some of those, but I want to get the Resin 3D printer set up for that. T-set dice is also on the docket. I need to actually sit down and get some of these things set up so that I can make them, because now I want to do graveyard dice, and T-set dice would be so cute. We talked about that I think last time. Man, guys, there's so many good ideas. I just need to take the time to actually sit down and make the items for it. I have to get the teacups and the teapot and everything made before then. The pink one in the front takes the cake. Wait, pink one? What pink? Wait. Oh, are we putting, what takes the cake? Are we putting cake in our tea set dice? Because that would be cute too. Alright. Oh, are you guys looking at Scryer's dice now? She She does all of the pretty. Oh, you shared your rainbow set. Oh, did I miss that? I think I. Where did you share your rainbow set? Oh, you shared it in the Discord, didn't you? I was like, where's the link? I don't see a link. Okay, I'll have to go look at that after the stream probably. Yeah, no, Scryer makes really pretty, like very colorful sets. I still love her glitter sets though. Those are my favorite. Which way does this go? I should really cut this better. I think it goes this way. Yes, okay. Alright, so we got that. So we've got a couple of our little kind of keychains here. So I'm gonna shove these in here so that they'll stay upright. Oops, if I can get them to stay upright. I have my little sphere here. I might shove that in here too so it stays upright because it didn't want to before. I was having some issues. I'll get these last few. Pink cake dice set in. You have no idea what's going on. I really don't either. I think Scryer shared a picture of some dice that she made over on my Discord is what happened and is what people are talking about. I was very confused too. And then something about pink cake. And I think there is a die maybe that's pink that someone said takes the cake. And then I was talking about we were talking about making tea set dice, and I was talking about putting a slice of cake in one of them. I think that's where we're at. I think that's where we're at with the cake. And also I want cake. Glitter's your specialty. Yes. See, yeah. At least you're not the only one. You're really not. There's I think multiple conversations going on at the moment, and I'm not privy to half of them. Alright. Do not knock things over. A couple of bubbles here. Let me just get those out of the way. Alright. Let's throw those in there. I want to... Messing up is your specialty. Sometimes you can find out some cool stuff by messing up. I've definitely done that with dice a lot. Get out of there. So much cat hair everywhere. Alright. Alright, let me see if I can fit... This is the, Oh gosh, yeah, go to bed. Thanks for stopping by though, Scryer. I'm glad you could hang out and chat for a bit. I have been, this is sort of related to Scryer heading out. I've been, like, not debating, but, like, kind of thinking about, like, when I stream. So, part of the reason that I stream on, Wednesdays and Saturdays is because those are the nights that I like have available. But like I don't know, like I could do something like during the day on Tuesday or something like that too. Like I could figure something out. I'm just trying to figure out whether a different time would work better for more people. But I think really, no matter what time I stream, it's going to be good for different people. It's really what it's going to come down to. So, you know, I do think that maybe, since I'm on the west coast of the United States, like, it's probably, you know, later for most people than it is for me, which is maybe not the best, but... Yeah, this one might end up with a little bit of silver in it. That's fine. We're gonna use our extra silver here. Try and fill in the last little bit here. I'm just kind of trying to use up all the extra resin so I can fill this in all the way. I'm not really going to use that actually the correct blue, so we are gonna use this blue. Oh, see that? Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. People are working during the day. So I guess that's a fair point. I think I'm gonna stick with what I have now, just because that's the most convenient for me. But if I ever add another stream, so I stream twice a week. If I ever add another one for some reason, I don't know that I will. I might add something during the day, but I don't know. Maybe if I do something besides arts and crafts, I'll do it like during the day. I don't know. I'll have to think on it. Oh, I was saying before though, guys, if you are thinking of ordering something from my shop, I did add a channel points thing recently, and it's for quite a few points, but you can get a 10% off discount code if you spend a lot of time on my channel. Yeah, probably best not to watch a whole bunch of videos while having to take care of kids. No, I'm not. Yeah, no judgment here. Like, I wasn't allowed to watch things while I was when I had an office job and all that. So like, no judgment here on not watching streams while working. That is something that I love about working for myself now and doing stuff like this, is that like I can watch stuff while I'm working on things. It's very, very, guys, I really like it. Yeah, no, I've said this before, but guys, I'm so happy working for myself. Like, I'm not quite to the point where I'm supporting me completely yet, but I'm so happy doing it, and I feel like I'm getting there. Things are slowly looking up, which is so nice. I am so much happier doing this than when I worked a desk job. I actually see the sun now. Oh crap, I didn't. I was thinking about it, and then I didn't. I'll text her. I didn't actually ask her. I need to do that. I think part of it is I want to figure out a plan. Like, I want to have some sort of plan figured out before I just say, hey, do you want to record a podcast together? I want to actually figure out, like, have some sort of working idea to bring to her. And part of it is because I think it would be easier to record at my house because I have like a microphone and I can just record it directly to my computer and all that sort of stuff, because I have a desktop and not a laptop. I guess, but at the same time, it'd probably be easier for her if we did it at her house. So I'm just like, I'm caught up in logistics a little bit. I really need to just ask her, but at the same time, I'm just like, oh, I should get all this stuff figured out first, and then I never actually do it. That's really what it comes down to. It's just getting caught up in what ifs and then never actually doing it. That's the story of my life. Okay, I think that's everything. It looks like such a small tray compared to normal, since we're doing 2 of these in a set as opposed to 3 sets. But I think that is all of our stuff ready to go into the pressure pot. So that's exciting. That does mean that I am, done for the night, but I will be back on Saturday. Thank you everybody for stopping by. Hopefully everybody has a good evening or morning, whatever time it is for you. But yes, I do stream every Wednesday and Saturday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you ever want to come, hang out and chat again, you're always welcome. And I do have, well, let me type there. I do have a Discord. So if you ever want to come chat about arts and crafts or D&D or any of that, cute animals, any of that fun stuff, outside of streaming times, you can come chat over there. It's pretty chill. But hopefully I will be able to chat with you guys later. So yeah, have a good night. Bye.